Welcome back, my name is Miguel. Today I want to take a closer look at a watch that, in my opinion, perfectly represents how a revived heritage brand should operate. This is a Sheffield Allsport A1, a modern dive watch that draws on the brand's past while keeping its feet firmly planted in the present and, most importantly, at a price point that actually makes sense. If you spent any time in the watch hobby, you know the pattern. A long dormant brand gets brought back to life, leans heavily on its history, and then uses that story as justification to charge eye-watering prices. Suddenly, a watch that would normally sit in the affordable category is marked up several times over, all in the name of nostalgia. Sheffield Watches is taking a very different approach, and that's what makes this release so refreshing. Historically, Sheffield was known for producing watches that were firmly in the affordable category. These were honest, no-frills pieces aimed at everyday wearers. Back then, affordability often came with compromises. Materials, finishing, and specifications tended to reflect the price. You got what you paid for and not much more. Fast forward to today, and Sheffield has been brought back with a new mission. The brand hasn't abandoned its roots in accessibility, but it has dramatically raised the bar in terms of materials, execution, and overall value. Instead of monetizing history, Sheffield is using its inspiration, offering modern recreations into watches that feel thoughtfully designed and genuinely well made, all while staying approachable for collectors and newcomers alike. The Allsport A1 is very much a modern tool watch, but it doesn't feel generic. There's a clear intention behind the design, especially in how balanced and wearable it is. On my 6 and 7/8 inch wrist, the watch wears exceptionally well. The case proportions are spot on, and it sits very flat without feeling bulky or top heavy. It's the kind of watch you can wear all day without constantly adjusting it or noticing its presence, which is exactly what you want from a tool watch. The black dial is clean, legible, and purpose-driven. Under normal viewing conditions, it looks sharp, but even under macro photography, which is where many affordable watches start to show their weakness, the dial holds up impressively well. The printing is crisp, the markers are evenly applied, and there's a level of refinement here that you don't usually see at this price point. The watch features a unidirectional 120 click bezel with an aluminum insert, which is exactly what you expect from a modern dive watch. My one real complaint with this model is that the bezel is a little stiff to turn. It's not unusable by any means, but it does require more effort than I like, especially if you're adjusting it on the fly. That said, any annoyance I have with the bezel is more than offset by the absolutely insane lume. Sheffield did not hold back here. They're using both Japanese and Swiss lume. The lume is bright, long-lasting, and evenly applied across the markers, hands, and bezel. In low light conditions, this watch absolutely comes alive, and it's one of the standout features of the Allsport A1. For a tool watch, lume isn't just a bonus, it's a necessity, and Sheffield absolutely nailed it. And yes, this lume is in SoCal territory. At the sub $200 price point, the level of detail and specification you're getting here is genuinely impressive. This is where the revived brand done right philosophy really shows. The watch has a 200 meter water resistance. Helping that water resistance is an unsigned screw down crown and a decorated screw case back. The case is constructed of 316L stainless steel and it's been PVD coated black. The case measures in at 40 millimeters. It has a lug-to-lug measurement of 48 millimeters. It's 13 millimeters thick, and in between the lugs, it measures 20 millimeters. The case features drill holes for easy strap change, and they even included a sapphire crystal. Instead of cutting corners or inflating prices, Sheffield is delivering strong specs that feel appropriate, useful, and competitive. The materials are noticeably better than what Sheffield used in the past. Everything from the case finishing to the crystal and overall construction feels like a step up. This isn't just an affordable watch, it's a well-made affordable watch, and that distinction matters. Inside the watch beats the SoCal NH35, a movement that needs no introduction. It's not glamorous, but it's reliable, repairable, and proven. Enthusiasts know exactly what they're getting, and that familiarity is a big part of what keeps the NH35 so widely used in microbrand divers. On the wrist, the Allsport A1 feels versatile. It works as a daily wear piece, a casual weekend watch, and even as a capable outdoor or water-ready companion. The design doesn't scream for attention, but it also doesn't disappear. It strikes that perfect middle ground where it feels purposeful without being over-designed. The included 20mm FKM Tropic style strap has a quick release system and it's extremely supple. However, I did notice the company did not include a signed buckle, but for the price, I'm not complaining. Overall, I'm genuinely a fan of this watch and of Sheffield as a brand in its current form. The Allsport A1 shows that you can revive a historic name without exploiting collectors or hiding behind nostalgia. Sheffield is doing things differently, focusing on honest values, strong execution, and accessibility, and that's something the watch community needs more of. In the past, Sheffield watches were affordable, but the specs reflected that. Today, the watches are still affordable, but the materials, finishing, and overall quality have improved dramatically. This is a brand that deserves far more recognition for its efforts to bring well-built, affordable tool watches to the community. I also want to let you know that I have another one of their models in for review, so if you're enjoying this content and want to see more watches like this one on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep bringing you honest, in-depth reviews like this one. Thanks for watching, be safe out there, and stay humble.